What's up, guys? It's the Agent of Power Sun here, and today I am bringing you a duel between Shiva BR and Durban Dragon. Durban Dragon has opened up with Cat to get Pegasus to do something with Raccoon. Who cares? Freaking hate these guys. Oh man, look at me already messing up. Durban Dragon has a rating of 1712. And Shiva has a rating of 1786. Oh, these guys are actually pretty close. All right, so he plays Toad. That's the new one that came out, right? Ugh, whatever. Majespecters are so just meh. But I knew they were going to start showing up heavily again. Oh, sweet. These are Monarchs. I love Monarchs. So I'm glad it's going to be a game between them, even though it's kind of generic, but whatever. But like I was saying, I knew Majespecters were going to kind of rear their ugly little heads back into like the meta game with the who's it with the emergency ban list, which if you ask me was completely unnecessary. Like, ooh. I mean, I don't know. I never thought that the deck was just so daunting. Because, I mean, when you think emergency ban list, you think of stuff like Cyberstein OTK. You think of stuff of like Return Dad with Allure being at 3 being so stupid. You know, you think of like decks that were extremely catastrophic. And maybe that's just me. I didn't feel like Peeps were just like catastrophic. Because usually, I don't know. I always compare stuff to Dragon Roller format. I just remember everyone was just like, oh, Dragon Roller, Dragon Roller, Dragon Roller. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Oh, I hate playing against it. Blah, 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 blah. And, this deck kind of got the same treatment Necros did, where it was like, oh my god, this deck is supposed to be really, really broken and stupid because it wasn't the OCG, even though the OCG doesn't isn't a good reflection of what the TCG is like. But still, we're going to compare it to the OCG. Oh, no, no, no. It's going to be so broken. Then it got here, and everybody was like, dude, I beat it with, like, Magician Pendulums and Odd Eyes Magicians. Dude, it's not that broke. I beat it with Mermails. No one ever said that about Dragon Rulers, unless they were full of shit. Like, because I think I said about Fire King. The truth is, like, I got lucky, but no, the truth of the matter is that it was just like you were not winning that matchup. You were never winning that matchup, you know. And I think that while the Peep matchup is, heavily not in the like it's not in the favor of the other player. I think the other player still has a way better chance of beating that deck than they did against full powered 6 Sams and full powered Dragon Rulers. That's just me. Now, with that said, like I said, I think it's closer to Necros than it is like Dragon Rulers in terms of like daunting power, if you ask me. Like, because I think I don't know. That's just me. And I've learned that I'm the minority, but at the same time, I feel like everyone is just kind of like a sheep, which isn't fair. But I don't know. I don't think it was the daunting force. 'Cause I think the thing is when like something broken comes out, everybody immediately wants to call it like, oh, it's tier 0, even when it's not. Like, because I think we just like the way it sounds to be like, oh, we were in a tier 0 format where literally this was the only deck that got played. But it's like that's not what this tier was. I mean, that's not what this format was. It wasn't just Pepe. It was Cosmos. It's Monarchs. It had a little bit of everything. It was Odd Eyes Magicians for a minute. Then everyone just kind of lost interest for some reason. And like, and that's kind of what happened with Necros. Like, it wasn't just Necros. It was Burning Abyss, which in my opinion was the better deck. It was Shadows. It was Teller Knights. But in the Dragon Ruler format, for when spellbooks were tier 0, because I think with Judgment at 3, they were tier 0. Yes, it was spellbooks and Dragon Rulers. Then after Judgment went away, it was just Dragon Rulers. you know? And So to sit here and be like, oh yeah, one deck was definitely better. No, thank you. Wow, Shiva actually lost. That is one thing. I guess I should pay attention to the match because I'm not exactly sure why he lost. But being back, I just kind of want to rant a little bit. So this is not that my DN duels are that professional, but still, I just wanted to kind of rant in this video. But like I was saying, the deck, I don't know. I think it was more like Necros, except that it actually is the best deck of the format. Unlike my very, very minority opinion on Necros, just because I don't know, I feel like Necros might have been the most popular deck. It was the most popular deck by far, but I don't think it was necessarily the best deck. I think people, whoa. Oh, am I gonna have to deal with that with this new computer? It going to sleep randomly? Great. But I think I'm going to have to deal with I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. Good job, me. But okay, let's pay attention to the duel a little bit. So he does Edia, which gets him. I always forget this damn thing's name. Edios. A very basic play. With tenacity to get himself a Pantheism. He activates Pantheism. This deck's pretty straightforward. It's really hard to just. I mean, that's one thing. I feel like this deck is kind of like Helmet, like really Helmet within itself. And I don't know. I guess people just haven't, you know. Sorry, you guys can hear that. Let me stop. But I think people just weren't ready to hear that or you know allow that to be said yet. I guess it's blasphemy at this moment. But I genuinely think that it was definitely more it's definitely a more so Helmet deck than anything because this is kind of your standard play. Using this is a very standard play. Activating this to soft lock your opponent, it's all extremely standard in my opinion. So I don't know. Don't think. Oh, did he have to go first? Please tell me he did not go first. I don't think going first with the Monarchs is optimal. Maybe that's just me being a bad player, but I just wouldn't want to go first with Monarchs unless I knew I could I had Vanity's Fiend or something. Not Vanity's Fiend, excuse me, but Majesty's Fiend. I don't think Vanity's Fiend's good. But I don't think I'd play unless I knew I could Majesty's Fiend down with a Dominion on board. Or unless I could lock them down, I don't think I'd, choose to go first. I think I'd go second. But I guess in a Majespector matchup, you know, being able to make plays before your opponent can kind of back row the fuck out of you, for lack of better term. Ew, Upstart and Majespecters? Why is everyone trying to slam this and everything? Stop. Upstart's not. No, it doesn't go in every deck, friends. Trust me, it's not an optimal choice like every deck. But hey, people are gonna do whatever they think is the best choice. Because I mean, some decks I saw someone's build of Monarchs where they were running a bunch of draw power. He's running Chicken Game too. He must have switched. He must have a side deck to switch into another side. I don't know because this is gross. This degenerate draw power engine. I don't think this deck needs it at all. But that's just me, I guess. But I know someone tried to do that with Monarchs, and I was like, why would you put Upstart and I think he had Chicken Game? He had a bunch of random draw power trading and stuff like that, and I was like, why though? This deck is so consistent on its own that throwing all that in there really seems pointless when you could be playing cards that you benefit from. Because think about it, between Tenacity, Pantheism, First, I mean Prime, not First. you have a decent bit of draw power, and then you have stuff like not March. Damn, I always forget what it's called. The other one that lets you search out every time you tribute. So you've got that one too. I mean, you've just got so many ways to deck in that deck that I don't see the need to run something like Upstart or Chicken Game or Trade In. It's like it's almost like your mindset's so broken by like it's so like messed up from the by like I don't know wow I'm I'm stumbling over my words. Sorry guys, but basically like the fact that oh everything's about speed, 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 speed. So you literally alter a deck to try and draw as much as freaking possible, which is just like pointless in a deck that already basically does that. Aside from like a handful of cards, everything in the deck gets you another card. Whether it's another card on field, another card to hand, almost everything in this freaking deck does it. So it's like, why? Like, why try so hard to just, do something? Because, I mean, this deck, I don't think it's like extremely combo oriented. You just kind of have a bunch of different standard plays, which is tribute out a monster, activate monster's effect, profit. Like that's basically what this deck does. So to try and put a bunch of draw power in it, like you're looking for combo pieces, as if you were playing something like say Buster Blader or Blackluster Soldier or something like that. It just seems pointless to me because like you don't need all that. I don't know. You know how people are. Like people are gonna do what they think is optimal, even though it's pointless. Like I wouldn't even say it's suboptimal because being able to get to all your pieces, all right, cool. But so I don't think it's suboptimal or something like that. I just think it's kind of pointless when this deck doesn't really have that problem. Like you don't put upstarts into a deck that's already consistent. Like you wouldn't have played upstart in Necros or something, or in Pepe. I'm gonna have to get used to saying that, which I think sounds so stupid. Like you wouldn't have put it in those decks because I mean, why? Why would you? There's no point. But that's just me. Whatever. Yeah, I'm probably gonna like build this deck on here and try and ladder with it a bit. Ladder with it. Oh my god. First of all, me and my words are sucking right now. Second of all, the fact that I'm like using words that are associated with like Pokemon and stuff. Like, well, I mean, laddering's not necessarily associated with Pokemon, but like, I don't know. It's if you play Showdown, then the Showdown server is called the Ladder, um, and you ladder on it. So obvious reasons, but I guess technically this is the same thing, but most people are just like rated instead of laddering, like road to rated or top rated or something like that instead of top of the ladder or laddering. So just little things, but I guess it doesn't really matter, so I'm explaining like irrelevant information. Yeah. So, oh, okay, so Monarch guy pulled it out. Good for him. But yeah, like Monarchs are legit. My only problem with it is like, okay, if you get rid of Dominion and like if your opponent gets rid of Dominion and they're able to just kind of completely go off because I've been testing a lot against my OEM deck. I've been testing Monarchs against my OEM deck, and it's just like, well, if I out Dominion, I'm pretty sure, like I'm almost guaranteed to OTK you, and that's kind of a problem, you know. Them just having the ability to OTK you really, really hard. It's just not good at all. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. You know. Let's see. Maybe I'm just wrong, but like every time, because it's like, all right, they OEM, or like every time they put out Dominion, and let's say that I have a Dragon Pulse out, I discard, pop it, and then I'm just like, and Ignister, Castel. some level rank 7 that's really stupid, plus another level 4 attack per game, like every dot. But I guess if like they can't deal with Ignister, it's still a good choice. I'm thinking about making like a top 5, maybe even top 10 of like the decks of the upcoming format, or budget. Probably do both. I might do top 5 budget and like top 10 decks of the next format, because I think going into this next format, things are going to get really interesting. Like, we're getting super quantums. Now Monarchs are here, and obviously they're going to be a daunting force. I feel like there's a lot of decks getting slept on, but I feel like people are going to realize that with this emergency ban list, like, Pepe is still arguably the best deck of the format. I think that could be argued against, between them and Monarchs. But I think there's going to be a lot of openings for like other decks to come in and actually like do something, because people are going to drop Pepe at first, or they might think, okay, since we lost so much consistency, let's just hop to a deck that's still got a lot, or they might start running the Magician engine again, which I don't think is a bad idea. You tossed in a couple Wisdom Eyes and some other Magicians, and you just kind of like fixed your consistency problem, which I don't even know how bad the consistency problem is, because I stayed away from Pepe. So I don't even really know how the deck runs. I'm pretty sure it's just like search, pendulum, XYZ, synchro, OTK power, attack, like, something like that. Domain. Have I been calling it Dominion? Wow, I'm such a scrub. It's Domain. Now, what card is it that's a Dominion? Because don't they have a Dominion of the Monarchs or some shit? But it's Domain, so stop being bad, Christian, and call it Domain. I love the artwork too, like, because these guys are supposed to be the Monarchs, like, and then you realize, oh, they answered to him. Like, holy crap. I don't know if this guy just hasn't drawn into him, but it doesn't seem like he's running any of the Mega Monarchs. Well, Mega Caius and Mega Stalos, because you don't play Mega Mobius or the Earth one. I don't know. I was citing Mega Mobius just to be cute, because I was like, all right, if I want to, because I was thinking, okay, in some situations, Mobius might be better than the Stalos, or might be better than Caius, and since I was running one, I think I had one Thestalos, two Caius, which I think would now go two Thestalos, one Caius. That's stuff I'll have to fix when I build the deck again. But I mean, either way, I was thinking, I would just take out the extra copy and splash in the Mobius, depending on my matchup. But it's all we'll see. It's all we'll see right now. Yeah. He opened with Edios. Did he just summon this so he had something on the field? I mean, he must have opened pretty shitty. I think this guy's. I'm pretty sure he's got an answer. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Because Majespecters. Well, see, I call this deck Helmet, but I don't think it's Majespecters Helmet. Like, Majespecter Helmet is like that degenerate helmet where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna play 4 traps and one monster that can't be destroyed and wait for you to do something so I can just stop it. It's kind of like that Teller's Cleaveforth helmet. Well, I think this deck is not necessarily helmet, but it's a linear deck. That's what I should say. I should say it's very linear, in the sense that you're probably going to be making like one of 3 or 4 of the same plays, which is, tribute to summon some big monster, or soft lock your opponent, which you have to tribute a monster to do, or, well, that's basically it. Like, you're either soft locking your opponent with a tribute, or you're just kind of tributing. Oh, and while drawing out the wazoo. So this is more like linear, while this is just like degenerate helmet. That's how I feel about it. So, oh, Durban Dragon won. Well, I mean, there was not much. Shiva could do. So even though I think he might have quit earlier than he needed to though, because I mean the problem with Majespecters is like they have a bunch of low level monsters, but I guess he could have special summoned. I don't know how many were in his extra deck. I gotta pay a little more attention. Sorry guys, I just really wanted to rant. It was over. Durbin won. Sorry if you would have rather hear me commentate. I'll try and be a little better about it in the next duel. But I still hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you later.